Yeah, here we go. Happy hump day to you. Welcome in another edition of the Joe Raineri Show, brought to you by WagerTalk.com. Want to thank you so very much for making us a part of your day, and we are loaded once again here on the show. Looking forward to doing this. Going to talk to one of the writers from one of my favorite websites called GetMoreSports.com. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, you definitely got to check it out. It's a mix of sports gambling with a little bit of humor and some quality information. And you guys know how I talk about knowledge being power here. Some great stuff there. We're going to talk to Adam Green. He is one of the writers and reporters for GetMoreSports.com. So we're going to talk some NFL with him. That's coming up. I've got your trend of the day in the NBA. You don't want to miss that. There's some action tonight. Two trends that popped out to me that I thought you would definitely want to know about before you start laying down any sort of money tonight on the game. So we'll let you know what's going on there. Plus, we've got our very own version of Spygate in Major League Baseball, that being Astrogate, or Astros Gate for that matter, with Major League Baseball looking into the Houston Astros, who have apparently been taping, I guess, dugouts, opposing dugouts, and they've been doing it for a while, and it's not as if stealing signs isn't illegal in Major League Baseball, but there's an awful lot being made about this particular story. And it's a little head-scratching, to tell you the truth, that Major League Baseball has allowed it to go on for as long as it has gone on, since they've known about this. The Oakland A's were originally the ones that brought it to Major League Baseball's attention weeks ago. The Cleveland Indians tipped off the Red Sox. The Red Sox tipped off Major League Baseball again. And now, miraculously, poof, the guy that was responsible for taping everything has disappeared. Apparently he doesn't have an Instagram account anymore, no social media accounts. He has just disappeared. But you guys know how the internet works, don't you? Nothing is gone forever on social media. Screenshots all over the place floating around of this guy being all sorts of buddy-buddy on private airplanes with the owner of the Houston Astros. So all sorts of fun stuff going on in Major League Baseball. Drama beyond drama. We got two games going on tonight again. You've got the Red Sox taking on the Astros. Game 4, Game 5. Dodgers taking on the Brewers. Nothing but drama going on. We had benches clearing and extra innings yesterday in the Dodgers game. We got people calling out Manny Machado. Christian Yelich is telling you to screw that MF. I mean, nothing but drama. Baseball hasn't been this exciting in a very long time, especially when you consider the amount of drama that's being thrown around. But 2-2 in the Dodgers and the Brewers matchup, and you've got 2-1 with the Red Sox getting ready. I think they're the late game tonight, 8 o'clock. Are the Red Sox and the Astros, as the Astros try and even that series up. But don't know what's going on with this whole Astros gate. Who's taping what's going on where. It's all very crazy to me. If you it is what it sounds like. It just sounds like it's nuts. But Scott Miller from BleacherReport.com, I wanted to have him come on today and talk about this, but unfortunately he's running around with his head cut off right now trying to catch both sides of this story. It's a much bigger deal, I guess, than Major League Baseball would want it to be at this point. And he's going to join us tomorrow and give us the latest on what's happening with this, with the whole Spygate, taking a page out of Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots playbook there, taping all sorts of signs and all sorts of fun stuff like that. Who knew baseball could be this much drama? That is so much fun. We also have in today's headlines, we're going to tell you about the new $365 million athlete, the highest paid professional athlete. What sport do you think he's in? If you had to guess, $365 million, just signed the deal, making him the highest paid guaranteed sports contract in the history. I can tell you right now, and an NFL player, and I know NFL players are pissed off. They're going to look at this and go, you've got to be kidding me. But yes, $365 million guaranteed. We'll talk about that coming up. Just all sorts of excitement going on in the world of sports. Want to also welcome those of you just joining us for the first time, and also on social media. Welcome in the usual. We got 8 Ball joining us. We've got David joining us. Also, Sam is hanging out over on YouTube. Want to thank you guys very much. You know how to find us at Joe Raineri Show, streaming live each and every day, 4 o'clock, across all the platforms. We've got Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, all all at WTF Sports TV, at Joe Raineri Show. Follow us, subscribe, like, do all of that happy horse shit. And a big shout out to the Canadians today, who, if you didn't learn, I guess today was the official day that they passed cannabis being legal in the whole damn country. So how many of you in those border states are heading over to Canada today, huh? Be reasonable. Yep, it's coming. Completely legalized cannabis, marijuana in Canada. It's going to make hockey games so much more fun. And quite honestly, even Connor McDavid came out and earlier said this: how in the hell can the NHL have any sort of marijuana rules and regulations when all the franchises in Canada now live in a country that has legalized recreational marijuana? So how, huh? All right, can you hear me back there in the 50s? Good Christ, get your heads out of your ass. NHL, Major League Baseball, although Major League Baseball, for all the problems that they have, they at least don't make a big deal out of marijuana, okay? And anybody that's ever known any Major League Baseball players, and I know them, they are some of the tokenest, smokingest mother that you will ever meet. So I'm telling you right now, Major League Baseball players, they love their weed, they love their edibles, and they love going to play in Colorado, and they love going to play in California. They love going to play in Boston. They love going to play where they can go get themselves their hands on those edibles, baby, those recreational edibles. They love that. But NFL, you're in the dark ages. NHL, you're in the dark ages. You got to get past the whole marijuana situation here. It's long gone. Congratulations to the Canadians who have finally figured it out. There's no more war on marijuana. That is long gone. So unfortunately, we're here in Florida. We have Disney. And Disney is going to make it almost impossible to do anything that doesn't have family values, like smoking weed, drinking, although we can all get drunk. But, smoking weed and gambling, for instance. It's going to be a very long time before sports betting is probably allowed in this state due to the fact that Disney will spend every red cent that they have in order to make sure that none of those fun things that, adults like to participate in, especially us adults here, none of the stuff that we like to participate in will ever become legal in Florida. Why? Because of Disney, because of that damn mouse and those damn ears that nobody likes anyway. So just throwing that out there. Adam Green joining us here in just a couple of minutes. We are going to talk to him. GetMoreSports.com. That is the website. You guys got to check it out. It really is one of the coolest websites. We've got also, anytime you got Gronkowski's involved in it, and you've got the brothers Gronkowski hanging out at GetMoreSports.com. Also one of the best NBA writers, Chris Sheridan. He is a part of GetMoreSports.com. Really cool stuff. So make sure you guys check out that website. We are going to talk to Adam Green, covers the NFL for him. He gets some great articles. We're going to get his thoughts on a whole bunch of things that are going on in the NFL right now. But I do have to thank one of our sponsors making this all possible here today, our good friends at Miami Acura. They want you to take a test drive of the all-new 2019 RDX. That is correct. The all-new 2019 RDX. Those of you in the 305 who have any idea who Pitbull is, then you know where they are. South Dixie Highway, Palmetto Bay, baby. Those of you who have no idea who Pitbull is and you think it's an actual animal, then you may want to call them 855-564-4669. That's 855-564-4669. The deals have never, and I mean never, been better than they are right now with the all-new redesigned, all-new 2019 RDX. It's like driving in your living room. So do not wait. Go get yourself a set of keys. Go out there. Take it for a test drive. If you're looking in the market for a new car, then go get the car that you've always wanted, only get it at a price you never thought was possible. Do it today. Miami Acura. Well, guys, happy Wednesday, and pretty excited right now. GetMoreSports.com, one of the coolest websites, one of the coolest places to go if you are into sports gambling, and we're all degenerates. That's why you're watching this. It's GetMoreSports.com, and joining us is probably one of the lead degenerates there on the website. Some great stuff. Adam Green, he joins us on Twitter, @TheFirstMan. Make sure you guys check him out. And Adam, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us for a few minutes here, man.
No problem. Happy to be here.
Well, the first thing I want to ask you is, because you guys have some great information on the site, but one of the very strange things about this year, and I don't know that Vegas is absolutely caught up to it yet, is the historic amount of scoring that we're getting in the NFL through 6 weeks of this season. And if you've been betting the overs, you've been doing pretty damn well so far. It just doesn't seem like Vegas has caught up yet with what's going on with all the scoring. Have you noticed that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And the whole September is always an odd time anyway in NFL. Things, you'll have teams that look good that fall off the face of the earth, and you'll have the teams that look bad like the Steelers and the Patriots, who now, 2 weeks into October, everything looks okay with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, you got the new rules with as far as protecting the quarterback, and we saw that show up in the Sunday night game where the Chiefs, that Breland Speaks, had Tom Brady wrapped up, could have sacked him, but he let him go. Brady was going to hurt him. Brady was going to get a flag, and Brady ends up running in for a touchdown. So I don't think the defenses and the defensive coordinators have kind of caught up to the rule changes. Even there's others besides that, of course. I think that's one issue. And the other issue is it's just the quarterbacking, the offensive play calling is just better than it's been in a long time. And you look at, I think it was last week, not even this last weekend, before, there were already more 400-yard passing games this year than there were all the way through like 1970 through 79 combined. And I mean, that's an insane stat.
And you bring up a good point, too, because the NFL is a coaching league. The NBA, it's all about stars. The more stars you have, the better off you are. But you can't pull that off in the NFL without the proper coaching. And without a good quarterback, you're kind of screwed. And then when you kind of levy all those rules in order to handcuff the defense, and you've got a whole new crop of young quarterbacks coming into a league, and you still got the old timers like Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady. Man, there's some points to be scored in this NFL, and the lines, week 11, I think it is, week 11 or week 13, we're going to have Kansas City and the Rams. What the hell is the over going to be in that game? 80?
I don't know how high. I don't know how it could be, because, and the thing is, I think they kind of hedge low always, even in a game like that. But I don't know what. I mean, we're looking at. Unless something insane happens with the Rams defense, or Justin Houston comes back from injury here in Kansas City and, starts piling up sacks constantly. I mean, that's a 45-40 game. So that it would have to be 80. I mean, it may be the highest. I don't know what the highest over-under ever, but 80 does not seem ridiculous to me. Does it seem ridiculous to you?
Not in this year. Not in 2018 with this NFL anymore. It has completely changed. Adam Green joining us, getmoresports.com. That is where you can find him. Some great stuff there. And quickly, Adam, just tell us for the viewers and for the listeners who don't or haven't heard of getmoresports.com, what would you tell them it is?
Well, we're a sports and entertainment website. It's mainly geared towards sports betting. But we try to make it fun. It's not just the information. We try to make it fun and funny. Glenn and Chris Gronkowski, they have articles there, and they have a pretty funny podcast. Mama G and Rob were on it with them last week, and it's trying to deliver you the information, the real picks, but also in an entertaining way. And I'm personally, I try to make it as funny as possible. I don't know how successful I always am, but I try to throw some jokes in there when possible.
Listen, it's all about information, and knowledge is power, certainly when it comes to betting on sports. And with more and more states, New Mexico is the latest to go ahead and legalize sports betting. We're going to see it in a couple of more states before the end of the year, and then next year it's going to be wide open. How much of the sports betting do you contribute to the rating success this year of the NFL? I mean, how much? I know people are pointing to the scoring, and all of that is good, though, but how much would you consider people actually having $5, $2, $100, or $1,000 on a game? How much of the legalization of sports betting right now is causing the ratings to go through the roof, you think?
That's an interesting question. It definitely doesn't hurt, and especially the more avenues you have, especially online like BetDSI and places like that, it makes it. I mean, you live in, Tennessee, which will be the last state that's ever going to legalize anything.
No. Wait a minute. No, we're going to beat you here. We're going to beat you here in Florida. We got Disney. Okay, so Disney will spend every last cent they have not to give us gambling here. So we got you beat there, Adam.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to argue anything Florida. If Florida says they're going to do it or not do it, I'm going to believe it. I believe anything that comes out of Florida.
I love it. I love it. But it's playing a role.
Second. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be, and because it's fun, and it's not just with betting against the spread and stuff. Daily fantasy obviously is a huge thing that's happening. Everything. I mean, even back in the 80s when fantasy football started, anything that adds another avenue, another fun thing to do besides just watching already a very entertaining sport, it's just going to add to the interest. And what's great about betting is everybody's got the favorite team, but when you bet and a team makes you money, then you get to have another favorite team. I can imagine the Kansas City Chiefs probably have a lot of new fans over the first month of the season. And the Los Angeles Rams, another team, a lot of new fans.
Amen to that.
Just because it's fattening that wallet up.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily matter whether or not your favorite team wins. It just matters if they cover, and that really is what it's coming down to. And a lot of people are starting to get that. And the diehards of one team or another try to avoid betting on those games whatsoever because they're kind of torn, and sometimes you can't see the forest from the trees. And the diehards, stay away from your favorite teams, man. Go bet Stony Brook and Elon or something. Just stay away. Stay away from any of your favorite teams. It's not a recipe for success. Adam Green joining us, getmoresports.com. One of your articles that you have on the site, which is great each and every week, is you talk about underdogs, and you point out some of the more intriguing underdog matchups, and when the spreads come out, you write a pretty good article over there. What have you seen thus far? So with the lines, what are the underdogs this week you're looking at?
Well, this week, I tell you, it's a Thursday night. The Cardinals are a 1.5 dog with the Broncos, and that's a very intriguing game to me. It's, of course, in Arizona. David Johnson has yet to break out, and that Denver Broncos defense has given up like 200 yards to Todd Gurley last week. It was like 160 the week before. The Cardinals should be able to run the ball. They should be. Josh Rosen, the receivers they've got, they've been improving on offense. Had a really good game last week against the 49ers. At 1.5 points, that's almost the pick 'em. That's who you think is going to win. The Broncos, what have they shown you on offense? What have they shown you that they can do? So that's a very intriguing game to me right there.
I love that.
As far as that, not a huge underdog.
But
it's definitely the Colts and the Bills, 7.5 right now for the Colts, -7.5. That one, to me, the Colts have underperformed. Andrew Luck is on pace to throw like 1,000 passes, set an all-new NFL attempts record this year. The Bills, as bad as they are, have been competitive. I don't hate Derek Anderson getting the start this week for them, especially over Nathan Peterman. I'm about to call him Naked Peterman. Nathan Peterman.
Listen, don't make fun of him. He makes it very fun to watch, man. He makes it very fun to watch, even if you're a Bills fan.
His interception rate is historic. He's actually they ran an article or stat line about players that aren't quarterbacks, that throw like halfback passes, wide receiver passes. He has a worse interception rate than non-quarterbacks. It's not even quarterbacks. For running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, like the trick plays to Nick Foles, all that stuff. He has a poorer interception rate than those guys who aren't supposed to throw the ball. So,
but you know what? They have a championship defense. To your point, though, they've got
that's it.
They have a defense, and if they can get even so much as some mediocre play from any quarterback at this point, including the 100-year-old Derek Anderson, they're going to be in the game, and really that's all you can ask for. And when you get that key number of 7, and right now you're talking about 7.5, as good as Andrew Luck has been, they're basically a hospital ward on the football field. That nobody's gotten more injury bugs than they have, but that also is a game that don't discount the Buffalo Bills defense. They're going to keep them in games even when they probably shouldn't be.
Well, if I remember, I think they've been 10-point dogs the last 2 weeks, and they've covered both weeks.
That's
I
correct.
mean, they've beat that both weeks.
Yep.
So, if you got to look at trends, you got to look at who they're playing. I mean, the Colts defense can't stop anybody. I mean, this could be it's one to definitely look at. For sure.
I love
because that is too large a spread.
Yep, and again, you can check
the
it
other
out.
one,
GetMoreSports.com. Just want to let people know, Adam Green, GetMoreSports.com. You usually come out with the underdog picks. You do this. I think they post them on Thursday. Adam, is that correct?
They do.
Okay, so they get them on
Thursdays
Thursday
when they go up.
You'll be able to get them up tomorrow. But you've got Arizona you like, and Denver. You've got the Bills are getting 7.5. Indianapolis, and what's your third game you like?
San Francisco 49ers at Los Angeles Rams. That's a 10-point spread there. And the 49ers have put up points, and the Rams, especially on the back end of that defense, haven't consistently been – people can get behind them. Emmanuel Sanders got behind them last week where Aqib Talib's out. Kyle Shanahan is one of those guys that's able to put up points regardless. Seems like whoever he's playing at quarterback. The Rams, I mean, if they win this one 35-30, they're fine. But if you bet on the Rams to cover 10 points, you're not fine. And the 49ers especially, too, are dangerous for garbage time spread-killing points, which is what happened last week, I think, with the Rams and the Broncos.
And I think
you had the Rams were up 20-3. They're done. They're in the cold. It's 29 degrees. Nobody can breathe in Mile High. They want out of town. They don't care if Denver makes it close. Realistically, it was over, and it ended up 23-20 was the final score. This is one of those that could be, like I said, 35-30, based on the Rams getting up 35-14 beginning of the fourth quarter and just kind of shutting it down, and the 49ers start loading things up. 10 points. I'm not sure how many of these 10-point spreads have survived this year. I don't know if many have. I would guess way fewer than have covered 10 points than have not.
Those double-digit spreads are, they're becoming less and less, and Vegas is eventually going to catch up with what's going on here. But to the 49ers, to your point about the 49ers, and we've been screaming about this the last couple of weeks here, but a lot of people thought that once Garoppolo went down, the drop-off between Garoppolo and C.J. Beathard was enormous, and the numbers told us all otherwise, that you weren't getting the name, you weren't getting CJ, but you weren't getting a guy that was dating porn stars, but you know what? You were getting a guy that was throwing up 400 yards of offense a week, and nobody was talking about him. So it wasn't that surprising to see the effort that they put forth on the road in Lambeau Field, because CJ Beathard can flat out throw the damn ball. Plus you got, again, go back to coaching. You've got yourself, Kyle Shanahan, who can coach with the best of them. He can make, a really, even an average quarterback can seem a lot better with that kind of offense. He's done it in the past. And, man, do not sleep on C.J. Beathard in fantasy and this team is going to be playing from behind a lot. So if it wasn't for the injuries for the 49ers, I'm kind of with you, Ad. I think they've at least 2 or 3 extra wins this year that they don't, unfortunately, because the defense is real, but they've been decimated by injuries. But don't sleep on C.J. Beathard at all.
Absolutely. And here's a little, if you want to put a little mojo on it, a little, for whatever reason things work this way, the Rams have started 6-0, I think, 3 or 4 times in their history. They've never gone 7-0.
Damn. Look at you throwing out nuggets like that, man. Just going to confuse people ripping up tickets right now because of you, Adam Green. God damn, people ripping them up, man. GetMoreSports.com. That is how you see him every Thursday. Adam, go ahead, and he'll post his favorite underdogs of the week. Some great stuff. You also do a tremendous job during the week of posting all the bad beats from the week before, just making people who lost their ass feel so much better about themselves, and I love that about you. You really just know how to stick it to people, and it's been a very, and I don't want to say, bad beats are bad beats, but, man, there have been really through the first 6 weeks of the NFL, there have been some situations where bettors are they're still crying over what happened.
Oh, the Cincinnati-Atlanta Falcons ending. That one is an all-timer. That one, The spread was Falcons -4.
Mm-hmm.
They drive down. They get a field goal. They go up 5. That means Cincinnati has to get a touchdown. That means if you bet on the Falcons, you're fine. You've got a point to spare.
Mm-hmm.
You know they're not going to kick a field goal. They have to go for a touchdown. Now, granted, Cincinnati's had has a good offense, but to get a touchdown in whatever it was, a minute and 30-something seconds is almost should be impossible. And the way that the Falcons played defense on that drive, A.J. Green could not have been more wide open. He could have been sitting in the corner of the end zone in a lawn chair, with like a coconut drink. The way they were playing. How do you play shallow? How do your safety and corner both play shallow? And literally that whole entire corner of, like, you get kicked out of your Madden league if you call that defense. And I can only imagine you've bet on the Falcons. You feel perfectly fine. Like I said, the freakish thing that would happen. I didn't look at the metrics and all the winning percentage, but it had to be something like 9% chance when Cincinnati took the ball and started over. Had to go and to win. And for A.J. Green, the one guy, the best guy. Like the one guy's like, we have to do something about A.J. Green. Who else is going to? And to just like nobody on him, just completely like we're playing zone, but we're playing like shallow, and we're just going to let him have this whole end of the end zone. He's going to build a house, like one of those it's the new tiny houses, the sweeping the nation.
And you got Dan Quinn as a head coach there, too. I mean, you're talking about a defensive-minded Super Bowl head coach there, and to allow that to happen. And we're talking Andy Dalton here, people, who notoriously over the years on the road in that situation, Andy Dalton is not the quarterback that is not even in the top 10 that you would go, all right, I got a minute 20 left. I need to drive down and score a touchdown. Andy Dalton's not even coming up in the conversation, and he basically shredded them. And you're right. And those that were holding tickets for the Atlanta Falcons, they did it to him again. But very disappointing year. And I want to know from you, Adam, who I know the lines are out, and you can get them certainly BetDSI. If you guys head over to getmoresports.com, they've got all the information there, how you can set up and check out the lines, the live lines. But if you had to guess, Adam, who's the first coach to get fired this year?
Oh, that is a great question. In the preseason, it would have been Dirk Cutter. 100%.
Okay.
But Ryan Fitzpatrick saved his job at least until Christmas. So, that is a great question. I'm going to say if I had to guess today, Bill O'Brien, Houston Texans.
Ooh.
I mean, he's a dead man walking, and like that. So many things have to go right for him to keep that job. Even though they've won 3 straight, which that's still a big, but it's the AFC South is garbage. Nobody's impressed by what they're doing. That game with them and the Cowboys was just a competition. Who's going to lose it first between he and Jason Garrett? And Garrett would be my second choice. And the only reason I wouldn't say Garrett is because Jerry Jones is so pig-headed and obstinate. I just feel like he'll at least wait till the end of the season to fire Jason Garrett. O'Brien. I don't feel comfortable with him. I would not start stocking up on Christmas presents if I were I would think more moving van territory.
I agree with you there. You can't be an offensive guru supposedly and not be able to score in the red zone, and they haven't been able to score in the red zone, the Houston Texans. It's been a big problem. You're not firing Gruden after giving him a $100 million contract. They are going to let him do whatever he wants with that team, even though he thinks it's hot tub time machine. Let's roll it back to 1998 with all those players. It's not going to work, but it ain't going to cost him his job just yet. He's got to they're letting him do the whole reboot into Vegas, so he's going to be there for a while. But Dirk Cutter, as you mentioned, was another guess up there, but Fitzmagic ended up probably saving his job, and I got to agree with you. I think Bill O'Brien is definitely going to be one of those guys that you got to keep an eye on, unless, of course, things go hard left for a few other coaches. But like Adam Gase here in Miami, but even he's making making chocolate shakes here out of absolutely nothing. It's amazing what he's done here.
Absolutely.
So it really is. It's been very interesting, and it's going to be even more interesting to see how all of this rolls. And let us not forget that what they're doing in Denver, and I don't know how that guy still has a head coaching job either, but I would anticipate that maybe the time is also near for the entire Denver Broncos coaching staff, because I don't know how much more Elway is going to tolerate that kind of play, especially from the defense.
I agree, and the whole problem with that is there are guys that I feel that, like Vance Joseph is going to get fired.
Yeah.
Jason Garrett is going to get fired. These guys, they're going to get fired. It's just to fire a guy in the season is such a hard call. And these GMs, especially a guy like Elway and, of course, Jerry Jones in Dallas, we don't even need to mention him. Their egos are so involved in it, and the big part of the quarterback issue in Denver is John Elway. That's not Vance Joseph. That's John Elway. That's who he's picking. That's who he's signing as free agents. And that's the problem. There, you look at Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, the running backs Denver has, the defense they still put on the field. That is a team that should still be in the mix. It's the quarterback is the problem, and he's the guy that's got to fix that. The GM has got to fix it.
Yeah, well,
so
we know the Case Keenum. He ain't the answer, Case Keenum. I mean, how much longer before you start throwing Chad Kelly in there? We know he's got the DNA, but you got to see what that kid's got. If you held on to him over Paxton Lynch, at some point you got to see what this kid's got.
I agree, and you saw the fans. I think Keenum, poor dude, was in concussion protocol. Yeah. They sent Kelly out to just take a knee, and the fans just went nuts. It's the loudest the fans got in Denver. Yeah. It was the quietest that stadium's ever been until that moment.
Yeah, Case Keenum will be with
come out and take a knee.
Case Keenum will be with the Giants next year, back with Pat Shurmur. It's the only guy that made him look like a quarterback anyway. So what a difference a year makes! It's unbelievable. Yeah. Back to the whole coaching thing. Adam Green, GetMoreSports.com. Make sure you guys head over there tomorrow. The articles come out. Look at the underdogs, and of course, follow the bad beats. Laugh your ass off. It's always better. You always feel better about yourself when you realize how many other people lost their ass in the worst ways humanly possible. And Adam does a great job of actually documenting that. Make sure you check it out. GetMoreSports.com. All the information. BetDSI. You have all the stuff there. Live odds. Really great website. I can't thank you enough, Adam, for taking a few minutes out. I know you're in Tennessee. Does UT have another ass victory coming out, and a total underdog situation coming out anytime soon?
Last week, I would have if I was like Auburn's president and athletic director, I would have had park security in front of the locker room, and I would have not have let a single coach back in the facility after that. That was the craziest thing, because it wasn't like in Tennessee, it's all we're always just however shitty the last coach was. We just have to compare him to.
Right.
And of course, Butch Jones was terrible, and his signature win was that Hail Mary pass against Georgia a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. This one, Tennessee owned this game from the start. Tennessee won this game. It wasn't some fluke play, nothing like that. Auburn should be just absolutely ashamed and devastated that happened.
Yeah, Gus Malzahn.
If they can keep it within 2 touchdowns of Alabama, that will be an incredible coaching and team-wide performance. And that's kind of the goal. That's you talk about there's no moral victories. I disagree when you're a Tennessee fan. 14-point loss to Alabama at this point is a moral victory I will take.
Hell yeah. Keep it under 80 points. You have already won. Adam Green, GetMoreSports.com. Make sure you guys follow him on Twitter as well, @TheFirstMan. Adam, I look forward to doing this again, man. I thank you for taking a few minutes out, hanging out with us. This was fun. We'll do it again.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, appreciate that. Adam Green, make sure you guys follow him too, because GetMoreSports.com has some great information over there. Knowledge is power. I tell you that all the time. Want to thank him very much for stopping by and hanging out with us. A lot of fun there. NFL, it's all about trends. It's all about knowledge, people. It's all about understanding what is going on. And probably, you head over to GetMoreSports.com. It's good. But also make sure you head over to WagerTalk.com, because there you have access to over a dozen of the best and the greatest sports handicappers in this country at your fingertips, and a whole plethora of free information, free picks there for you. It's WagerTalk.com. Don't start dabbling into into sports betting without visiting those sites first. So head over to wagertalk.com and check it out. You'll be much happier, and you'll write me, you'll thank me, you'll be like, thank you very Joe for sending me over there so I didn't lose my ass and my rent check this week. So I promise you, knowledge is absolute power when it comes to the sports betting world. Wagertalk.com. Also, congratulations to New Mexico. They also today became the next state in a line of a whole lot of others that are now legal to bet on sports. New Mexico dove right in there, passed the legislation. Now you will see sports books popping up in New Mexico as well. 2 or 3 more states are going to join that bandwagon before the end of the year. So more and more states are taking on the sports betting. It's becoming more and more popular. And if you've ever wanted to get into it, if you've ever wanted to make the games even just a little more interesting, you don't have to bet $1 trillion to make the games a little bit interesting. You throw $5 on a game, you'd be amazed about how much more interesting that game is to you than it normally would be. So get ready for it. It's probably coming to a state near you. Make sure you head over to wagertalk.com and get all that free knowledge and get yourself access to those handicappers who do this for a living, been doing it forever. Nobody's got better information than wagertalk.com. All right, coming up, we're going to get you the latest on the headlines. We've got the brand new richest athlete in the world, guaranteed 10 years, $365 million. Who do you think that athlete is? We'll tell you about that. Plus, we're just about 30 minutes away. First pitch, Game 5, National League Championship Series. You got the Brewers, you got the Dodgers. You've got all sorts of drama in this series now. Manny Machado, Christian Yelich going at each other. Oh, boy. Who would have thought baseball could have been this much fun when the Yankees weren't involved in it? But, yes, we've got drama in baseball. We'll go over that. We'll talk about the new richest athlete in the world. And you tell me if he's worth $365 million. We'll talk about that. But first, of course, we've got to thank a few of our sponsors here on the show that make this happen. Our friends at Low Cost Airlines. If you're planning on traveling anytime or flying anywhere to any game around the country, maybe you've got a favorite team that you want to go see before the end of the year, make sure you pick up the phone, call Low Cost Airlines. Maybe you want to come to South Florida, head on a cruise, and get the hell out of Dodge for 3 or 4 days. Superior Cruise and Travel is definitely the place to go. And our good friends over at Miami Acura. Take a test drive, the all-new 2019 RDX. You will not be disappointed. The deals are unbelievable right now. And coming up in 2 minutes, we'll go ahead. We'll talk about tonight's games. I'll give you the trend of the day in the NBA. You're definitely going to want to hear that as well. 2 minutes. We'll be back.
Plus, you get a free DVR upgrade to record your favorite shows and free installation. And with Dish Anywhere, you can watch TV for free on your mobile device. Act fast. You can save hundreds of dollars. Does your cable company do that for you? I don't think so. Get all the best TV programming at your fingertips at a fraction of the price of cable TV. So say adios, arrivederci, goodbye to the high cable bill and save up to 45% on Dish TV packages today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-293-0328. 800-293-0328. 800-293-0328. That's 800-293-0328.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-761-1427. 800-761-1427. 800-761-1427. That's 800-761-1427.
Get ready to talk sports. It's the Say It With Me podcast. Now, here's your host, Joe Raineri.
Welcome back in. Happy Wednesday to you. I want to thank Adam Green once again. GetMoreSports.com for stopping by here today. A lot of fun talking NFL with him. Don't forget, we got a phone number here as well. Your thoughts, always welcome. 855-WTF-2255, the Miami Acura hotline. That's 855-983-2255. That'll bring you into the show. Want to thank our good friends over at WagerTalk.com as well for making this happen as we broadcast to you and stream to you live every Monday through Friday beginning at 4 p.m. across every platform known to mankind. You've got Periscope, you've got Twitter, you've got YouTube, you've got Twitch, you've got Facebook Live, you've got them all. We are available, and the best part about live streaming is it's great if you're here and you're joining us right now, like those of you that are in the chat rooms. However, you don't need to be here live because as soon as we're done here, it remains posted, and you can rewind and check out everything that you've missed, including the underdogs that Adam Green likes this week in the NFL. So want to thank you very much for stopping by. So let's get you caught up with the latest headlines of what's going on in the world of sports. I had mentioned to you, we now have a brand new richest athlete in the history of sports signed a deal for $365 million. So I asked you guys, what do you think that sport is? Where do you think the athlete hails from? Where do you think he does? Because it ain't the NFL. Because I know NFL players are going to look at this and they are going to be so... Le'Veon Bell's probably looking at this going, you got to be shitting me. Like, you really? Like, $365 million? Well, if you guessed boxing of all places, you would be absolutely correct. Now, how many of you even know who this is? I'm just curious. How many of you have any idea who this person is? $365 million. Now, 365, to put that in perspective, the Powerball or the Mega Money, I think, is now $900 million because nobody won it again yesterday, so now it's up to $900 million. If you were to win the $900 million, you would roughly take home probably right around $365 million after you paid out taxes and all of that good stuff. So you too have the opportunity to make $365 million. All you have to do is hit the Mega Money. Good luck with that. Let me know how that works out for you. This gentleman's name is Canelo Alvarez, if you guys haven't known. Chances are most of you haven't paid $89.95 for a pay-per-view to see him fight, but he has fought just about everybody and everybody in boxing, and it looks like he's going to be fighting even more. He now has a 10-fight deal in place worth $365 million with, get a load of this, DAZN Streaming. I don't even know if you guys know what this is. DAZN. It's called DAZN. That's how it's pronounced. DAZN. We're gonna good job, Joe. DAZN, pronounced DAZN. It is a monthly service streaming service for $9.95 a month. Now, most people would have to pay $90, $80, $90, $100 a pay-per-view fight. And we already know how HBO and Showtime and just about everybody else is getting out of boxing. And then comes this DAZN available for $9.95 for boxing fans, and now they have what can be argued the most popular boxer in U.S. and Mexico. He's 28 years old. He's already fought Floyd Mayweather Jr., Miguel Cotto. He's already fought Golovkin twice. There's going to be, in all likelihood, another fight. So he is guaranteed $365 million from this streaming service. It's the highest paid guaranteed contract in sports history. if you guys can believe that, in sports history. The dude is making bank. He's 51-2, 34 knockouts, and he's a middleweight guy. And for 100, and usually this is the kind of money you see with only heavyweights. But if you really want to feel shitty about that job that you currently have, let me go ahead and break down what $365 million over 5 years looks like for you. That's $73 million a year. That's $6 million per month. That's $1.5 million per week. That's almost $200K per day, or $7,500 an hour. That's $138 a minute, and $2.30. Jesus Christ, spit it out, Joe. Per second. All right, so that's how it breaks down for Canelo Alvarez. He is now the highest paid professional athlete in all of sports, guaranteed 5 years, $365 million. Now, first of all, I can understand why Showtime and HBO is going to be getting out of boxing, because who in their right mind wants to pay $90 to watch 168-pound dudes fight? Like, nobody does. And if it wasn't for bars and restaurants and those kinds of places actually paying an arm and a leg to be able to watch these, or for you to be able to have them, if it wasn't for Cody, I wouldn't watch any of this. I mean, let's face it, we've all been stealing these pay-per-view fights for how long now? Thank goodness for that, because I would never pay $90 to see any of these people fight. But for $9.95, DAZN, which, by the way, is being run by by Mr. Nose Candy himself, former ESPN head skipper there, John Skipper. Remember John Skipper? He had a bit of a nose candy problem there, had to step down, but this is where he landed for those of you that haven't been keeping an eye on him. He is now the guy that is leading the charge for DAZN. $9.95 a month. You'll be able to get this stream to any device you want, and you'll be able to now see Canelo Alvarez fight at least 10 fights for 5 years, and he's going to make $365 million doing so. How crazy is that? And you know what's going to happen, because as soon as we learned that HBO and Showtime was getting out of boxing, then this was going to be the logical next step. And not so much because he is that popular in America, or because boxing is so popular in America, but on an international stage, this dude draws and he brings in a ton of cash. So for $9.95, I can see a lot of people spending $9.95 to stream it, guys that are fans of his, fans of boxing, fans of MMA, because they're going to have both on this streaming network. They're going to have MMA, they're going to have boxing. You're going to see it all. Forget about Showtime and HBO and pay-per-views and all of that. It's all going to be heading towards this company now. And if you thought boxing was dead, well, it's dead the way that we all remember it. Well, certainly the heavyweight division is dead, but boxing in general is just, nobody's going to spend $80, $90 to see it anymore. MMA is kind of a different animal, although they're running out of stars because there's only so much Conor McGregor getting his ass handed to him that we can all bear to watch and pay for. So sooner or later, unless they keep making some stars in that division and in that sport, people are going to get faded out with that. This is the next logical step in the world of sports. $9.95, you can stream it. You can watch these guys fight all day long. $365 million for Canelo Alvarez. Congratulations to him. Tonight, too, we are just about, I think, 18 minutes away. First pitch, you've got Game 5 between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Dodgers. What a game last night. In case you missed it, went 13 innings, took 5 hours, and there was nothing but controversy in this game, in case you didn't see it. Up at bat is Manny Machado there. That was the 10th inning. Routine ground ball, right? Throws it over to first. Then, of course, Machado's got to try and take out the leg of the first baseman there for the Milwaukee Brewers. And then the bench is cleared, and baseball has never been this much fun ever. Yep, and then they started going at it, back and forth, all because this guy left his he did kind of leave his foot over the bag. Now, Machado is known as a bit of a douchebag in circles. And he just plays hard. Now you can see he leaves his leg there, and Machado was definitely sending a message saying, listen, you want to get me out, you can get me out, but do me a favor. All right, and don't get your big ass calf in the way over there and prohibit me from running through the base. And Machado usually doesn't run a lot of these things out. So the fact that he was doing it at the speed he was doing it was kind of amazing. But that caused the benches to clear. A lot of huffing and puffing. Christian Yelich at the end of the game didn't have a lot of nice things to say about Manny Machado. His reputation is what his reputation is. Let's face it, there's no way around it. Manny Machado is not a very well-liked dude in Major League Baseball. He can flat-out ball, but he's not very liked or very well respected on the field. A lot of people feel he's a little cheap. I bring it. I would welcome more guys like Manny Machado. Take him out. I think the whole second, taking guys out and getting thrown out and all of that is ridiculous. I think baseball needs more guys like this, tough guys like this in baseball. I'm all for it. Baseball was never that interesting. You're talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. How many of you stayed up to watch, 5 hours of the Milwaukee Brewers play the Dodgers last night? I know that outside of Milwaukee and L.A., I'm not sure how many people were watching that, especially with the NBA on. And, you had an opportunity to watch Golden State last night, take on the Oklahoma City Thunder, and you had Boston and Philadelphia. You watched a whole bunch of air balls from Philadelphia. It was a lot of fun, but they need more people like this. At the very least, it heads into first pitch, 5:08 coming up. Some animosity. So, every time he gets up now, it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. And Christian Yelich had a whole bunch of things to say about Manny Machado after the game, which I'm sure he heard. So it gives us at least a little added drama to be able to watch tonight. And they, I believe, 5:05 first pitch. And if you're looking for it, you have to download Fubo TV. It's try for free, I guess. They're offering it for free. You can download it and watch the game. It doesn't look like it's on a network, which is a little strange to me, but 5:05 is also a very strange starting time for a baseball game. But it is what it is. So Fubo TV, whose subscription base has, I believe, doubled from a year ago, because they are really leveraging themselves and putting themselves out there as the sports streaming network. And if you like sports, if you want to watch sports, then Fubo is the way to go. Forget about YouTube TV and Hulu and all those. Forget about that. The way to go is Fubo TV. I happen to have it as well. I think it's awesome because especially on Saturday, you're able to get all the college games you can't get anyplace else. And then they're also cutting a deal with ESPN. So sooner or later, you're going to have Monday Night Football. They do have the Thursday Night Football games, and they have the Red Zone. So for $28-30 a month, you're streaming, you get access to all the sports, including the Brewers and Dodgers game tonight. And, of course, there's all sorts of other drama going on in Major League Baseball. The Astros have been accused of cheating and stealing signs and sending a cameraman into the dugouts, but Major League Baseball has sat on it because apparently the Oakland A's have notified Major League Baseball a couple of weeks ago. The Cleveland Indians also ratted them out, and now it's starting to come out. So that's a whole drama going on in itself, and it's crazy. It's crazy that it's actually gotten to this point. But we're going to talk to Scotty Miller. He is the lead Major League Baseball writer from Bleacher Report. He's busy working on this story. He was going to come on today and talk about it. Unfortunately, he had a deadline to meet because this story blew up all over the place. He's going to join us tomorrow. We'll get his thoughts on, is it really cheating? Because keep in mind, stealing signals is not against the rules in Major League Baseball. But when you use cameras, when you got a guy in the dugout filming everything, electronic devices, not allowed. And that's a big no-no, and that's where the issue lies right now. But many people are saying and writing that the worst thing that can happen to the Astros is they get fined a couple of bucks, and quite honestly, the owner will write that check. Bye-bye. If it helps them get past the Cleveland Indians and it helps them get past the Boston Red Sox into the World Series, you think he gives a shit about writing that check? He's not going to care about writing that check. So it'll be very interesting to see what that means moving forward for Major League Baseball and what guys do to try and avoid getting their signs stolen. We heard about it, too, with Severino tipping his pitches off in the Boston Red Sox series. So it is now, I think it's always been a part of baseball, but now it becomes an even bigger part of baseball. And then 8:39 first pitch tonight, you've got the Red Sox 2-1 up on the Astros. They did it in just spectacular fashion. Those of you that had the under ticket last night, I think it was 8.5 was the under in that game. Yeah, that grand slam really sucked for you. You want to talk about a bad beat. It wasn't good. Steve Pearce hit a 900-foot home run. He did hit a 900-foot home run, but the grand slam was really what notched it. Once that went out, they put up, that was an additional 4 runs right there, and it was Bradley Jr. who did it. It was the fourth in postseason history by a number 9 hitter to hit a grand slam home run. Number 9 guy goes yard, and there goes the under in the game. So if you had 8.5, you were cursing Bradley Jr. up and down all day last night, and I don't blame you because, let's face it, that had 4-2 written all over it until he came up and then just absolutely destroyed the ball. So that also is happening tonight. Loaded. Really, you had only 2 games in the NBA, but you've got a boatload. All the rest of the teams, including the Miami Heat and the Dwayne Wade Farewell Tour, taking place tonight across the league. So you got a ton of NBA tonight, 2 baseball games, 2 divisional or championship series games going on. A lot of fun. Tomorrow, Thursday night football. And like I mentioned, we're going to talk Major League Baseball tomorrow with Scotty Miller. Also, our good friends from WagerTalk.com, Ralph Michaels. He'll be joining us. So we are loaded tomorrow night as well. We're going to help you make some money, certainly tomorrow night and moving forward. But if you are going to play any tonight, let me get you the trends of the day in the NBA, brought to you by WagerTalk.com. These were 2 of the biggest trends that popped out to me today that I witnessed that I wanted to run by you guys, because if you're planning on playing any of the games tonight, these were 2 of the trends that really came out. Number 1, Pacers -7 at minus 105. They are 20-8 against the spread as a home favorite last year, and they are going to be a home favorite again tonight, -7. They've done very well in that arena at home. 20-8 against the spread is a huge, huge number. So Pacers laying 7, not a bad way to go. Also, Clippers versus the Nuggets. The under is 226. That's at minus 110. The under is 19-6 when Denver plays at L.A. And can I tell you something? 226, that even last night, the under in the Golden State Warriors game was something like 220, and they didn't come close to hitting it. 226 for the very first NBA game. If you watched those 2 games last night, you have noticed that, man, there was a boatload of turnovers and air balls, and they are in no way, shape, or form, after playing 5 preseason games, they are not going to rattle off 226 points. So the under is a pretty safe bet, especially when you look at the trends. The under 19-6 when Denver and LA play. So it'll be interesting to see. Clippers taking on the Nuggets tonight, but there would have to be an awful lot of easy baskets underneath, and we know that's not the NBA anymore. There would have to be an awful lot of underneath baskets there to get to 226 points. So the under might be the smartest bet that you have there. So just wanted to share that to you. Also want to thank our friends at WagerTalk.com. All right, Adam Green, you rule. GetMoreSports.com. Love those guys. Check it out. Make sure you stop by there. All sorts of free picks, valuable information across all the sports platforms. And want to thank, if you missed any of that interview, and it was awesome too, by the way. He's got some great stuff, some underdogs that he really likes this week in the NFL. You guys can rewind it as soon as we're done here. You guys know what it is. It's going to rebroadcast throughout the day, but you have it here now, so make sure that you guys check it out. And on behalf of WagerTalk.com and Miami Acura, I want to thank you guys for stopping by, hanging out with us here today. You got baseball coming up tonight. Enjoy the games. NBA. Don't forget, Pacers -7 and the under 226, Clippers versus Nuggets. You heard it here first. If you lose your money, it's not my fault. You can blame WagerTalk.com. I'm only kidding. Have a great night, guys. Enjoy yourself. Also, Buffalo Bills, get ready. You got yourself some Derek Anderson coming your way. That is right. Here is Derek Anderson earlier today, taking snaps. No more Nathan Peterman. It is now 900-year-old Derek Anderson throwing passes for the Buffalo Bills. He's going to be under center this weekend. Sean McDermott's already announced it, so that's got to be some sort of record-breaking situation going on there. But they were worried about losing the locker room if they threw Nathan Peterman out there and he threw another pick six. It would have been just total pandemonium. So get ready. The experiment, the Derek Anderson and his AARP card are coming to the Buffalo Bills, taking snaps this weekend. Boy, that should be an awful lot of fun. So you guys have a great night. Thanks again so much for making us a part of it. We'll be back tomorrow, 4 o'clock. We'll do it all over again. Scotty Miller, Bleacher Report, MLB lead writer. He'll join us along with Ralph Michaels from WagerTalk.com. We'll make you some money tomorrow, we promise. Have a great night. We'll talk to you then.